Hello everyone, I'm Candy from Susan's family. Today, I'll show you a blanket from the Chinese aesthetic series, the Brilliant Stars blanket. The blanket includes motifs, edging, and tassel decorations. First, crochet and sew together all the motifs, then, edging around the fabric. Finally, crochet and make the tassel decorations. Let's start with the motif layout diagram. For convenience in explaining, we will divide the motifs from the inside out into one central motif and 6 circles of motifs. When crocheting, you can start with the central motif first. Then, from the inside out, crochet and sew together these 6 circles of motifs one by one. It's worth noting that don't need to leave a long yarn tail at the end of the central motif. For the rest of each motif, leave a long yarn tail at the end for sewing. For the motifs marked with a red circle, when you finish crocheting the final round, leave a yarn tail long enough to sew together 2 sides. For the motifs marked with a black circle, leave a yarn tail long enough to sew together 3 sides. The length of the yarn tail should be about 3 times the length needed for sewing. Also, depending on the different crochet methods for the motifs, they can be divided into motif 1, motif 2, and motif 3. There are several different color schemes for the different motifs. Among them, some motif 3 require additional decorations. Depending on the different decoration colors, these are divided into decoration 1 and decoration 2. Below, I will demonstrate the crocheting and sewing of these several motifs separately. First, let's learn the crochet method for the central motif. That is, motif 1. Motif 1 starts with a magic ring. Crochet counterclockwise outward from the magic ring. Please watch my demonstration. First, perform the magic ring cast on. I'm using random yarn for this demonstration. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the product detail page and paper instructions. Once completed, start with round 1. Make 2 chains, which count as 1/2 double crochet. Then, crochet 1 more chain. Then in the magic ring, crochet 1/2 double crochet, 1 chain. Continue alternating between 1/2 double crochet and 1 chain. Repeat 4 more times. After finishing the last chain, we need to close the magic ring. First, move the crocheted part to the right slightly. Then gently pull the starting tail. There will be a movable loop here. We tighten this movable loop. Finally, tighten the tail. The loop is now closed. Next, at the top of the second chain from the beginning chain, pick up 2 strands of yarn and make a slip stitch. It might not be very clear here, but it's on the right side of this half double crochet stitch. Make a slip stitch to join to the second chain. If you're unsure where to connect, you can roughly pick up 2 strands. The solid dot indicates that the slip stitch needs to be tightened. This doesn't count as 1 stitch. At this point, the side of the fabric facing you is the right side. Since the next round requires switching colors for crocheting, it's necessary to fasten off the yarn at the end of this round. Crochet 1 chain to secure. Slightly enlarge the loop. Cut the yarn. Pull tight. You can weave in these 2 yarn tails in the back loops on the wrong side. This makes it convenient to weave in the ends as you crochet. That concludes the first round. Move on to round 2. From now on, always keep the right side facing you while crocheting the motifs. First, join the corresponding color yarn. Join yarn in any chain space. The chin space might be small and not very noticeable. Make 3 chains. You can weave in the yarn tail as you crochet. This counts as 1 double crochet. Then, in the next chain space on the left side, work 1 double crochet. 2 chains. And 1 more double crochet in the same chain space. Next, in the 4 chain spaces on the left, work 1 double crochet, 2 chains, and 1 more double crochet in each space. In the chain space, where you joined the yarn, work 1 double crochet and 2 chains. After completing, pick up 2 strands at the top of the beginning chain, and join with a slip stitch. Since we will use this yarn later, to minimize breaking the yarn, let's secure it for now. Stretch the loop. Pass the yarn ball through the loop. Alternatively, you can also pass the workpiece through the loop. Tighten. Keep this yarn at the back all the time. Stop crocheting with it. That concludes the second round. Let's continue with the third round. First, join the yarn in the chain space on the right side of the beginning chain. Work 1 chain. Crochet 1 single crochet into the chain space. Remember to keep this yarn at the back all the time. Then, in the next chain space, crochet 1 single crochet, followed by 1/2 double crochet, one double crochet, one chain. Then crochet 1 double treble crochet, that means yarn over 3 times. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over again. Pull the yarn through the first 2 loops. Repeat this 4 times. The double treble crochet is completed. Then, work a CH3 picket. That is, crochet 3 chains. Then pick the front loop of this stitch, and 1 yarn on the left side. Slip stitch. The picket is complete. In the same space, continue to work 1 double treble crochet. One chain. 1 double crochet. 1/2 double crochet. And 1 single crochet. For the rest of this round, just repeat this stitch pattern in each space. I'll demonstrate it one more time. In the space on the left, crochet 1 single crochet, 1/2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 chain, 1 double treble crochet, and 1 CH3 picket. After completing, continue crocheting with the symmetrical stitches on this side. That completes another space. Keep going. In the last space, we already have 1 single crochet from the beginning. After we finish this half double crochet, slip stitch and fasten off the yarn in this single crochet stitch. That concludes the third round. Let's move on to the fourth round. Use the yarn from round 2 for this round. Refer to the chart. This round alternates between 1 single crochet and 5 chains. The single crochet can go between 2 single crochets like this. Or it can also go into the single crochet stitch on the left side. It depends on your preference. Either way won't affect the overall effect. Here I'm working mine between the 2 single crochets. So first pull the yarn through between these 2 single crochets. Work 1 chain. Then work 1 single crochet in the same position. Five chains. Then continue working 1 single crochet in the next space between 2 single crochets. Five chains. Continue crocheting in this way. After completing, join with a slip stitch into the starting single crochet. Don't cut the yarn. Secure the yarn for now. Place it at the back. Stop crocheting with it. That's it for the fourth round. Let's continue with the fifth round. First, join the yarn in the last large space of the fourth round. I want to emphasize again, I'm using random colors here. Start with 3 chains. Then work 3 double crochets in the same space. When you do the third double crochet, bring the paused yarn upwards. Next, work 8 double crochets in each of these 5 large spaces. Work 4 more double crochets in the space where you joined the yarn. Once completed, join with a slip stitch at the top of the beginning chain without cutting the yarn. That's it for the 5th round. Let's move on to the 6th round. Continue crocheting with the same yarn from the 5th round. Start with 3 chains. Into the 3 double crochets on the left side. Correspondingly make double crochets. Pay attention. When working the 3rd double crochet, finish by pulling through with the yarn from the 4th round. For convenience in explanation, we'll call this yarn color 1. And the yarn from the 4th round will be called color 2. Next, using color 2, work 1 front post treble crochet into the single crochet from the 4th round. Yarn over twice. Insert the crochet hook through the gap on the right side of this single crochet. Exit through the gap on the left side. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on your hook. Repeat this twice. Finally, switch to color 1, and repeat one more time. After completing, ensure it is roughly level with the right side. This is the front post treble crochet. Simultaneously, we have completed the color change. Continue using color 1 to make double crochets into the 4 double crochets on the left side. Switch to color 2 and crochet while wrapping. After completing, chain 1. Next, you just repeat this stitch pattern. Let me demonstrate it one more time. First, make double crochets correspondingly on the 4 stitches on the left side. Pay attention that for the ending of the 4th stitch, switch to color 2 and pull through. While wrapping the yarn, don't pull the inner yarn too tight. Don't let it tangle inside either. Next, use color 2 to work a front post treble crochet on the single crochet from round 4. Finally, you need to pull color 1 through. Make double crochets correspondingly on the 4 stitches on the left side. Use color 2 to crochet while wrapping. Chain 1. I've just completed another group. Next, repeat this process to finish this round. After completing, slip stitch to fasten off and cut the yarn. Cut color 2 as well. Weave in the ends on the wrong side. That concludes the 6th round. Let's move on to the 7th round. This round also uses 2 strands of yarn simultaneously. Name them color 1 and color 2, respectively. Start by joining color 1 in the last chain space from the previous round. Pay attention, hook into the picket stitch from the 3rd round at the same time. Chain 3. Crochet double crochets correspondingly on the 4 stitches on the left side, while wrapping color 2 at the same time. Switch to color 2 at the end of the 4th stitch and pull through. After completing, use color 2 on this front post crochet stitch. Work 1/2 double crochet and 4 FPHDC4 puff. Switch back to color 1 at the end and pull through. First, make 4 unclosed half double crochets on this front post stitch. When crocheting, slightly enlarge the loops. Make sure the stitches are roughly level with the right side after completing. Then switch to color 1 and pull through. This FPHDC4 puff is now complete. Continue using color 1 to crochet 4 corresponding double crochets. Wrap color 2 while crocheting. When you reach the chain position, crochet 1 double crochet, 2 chains, and another double crochet into the space. Pay attention to also include the picket stitch from the third round. Next, everyone can refer to the previous demonstration and combine it with the chart. Continue all the way to the last double crochet of this round. After completing, make 1 chain. Then single crochet into the top of the beginning chain to connect. Break color 2 yarn. Don't cut color 1 yarn. That concludes the 7th round. Now continue with the 8th round. Start with 3 chains. Then work double crochets evenly. For each space, work 1 double crochet, 2 chains, and 1 double crochet. Refer to the chart and continue all the way to the last 2 chains. After completing, slip stitch into the stitch on the left of the beginning chain. The oval solid dot indicates that the slip stitch should not be pulled too tight. This slip stitch creates a braid, which can count as the stitch above the beginning chain. This makes it easier for sewing later. There's no need to leave a long yarn tail for this central motif. We can fasten off the yarn normally. Weave the ends in along the texture on the wrong side of the fabric. You can also weave in the entire tail if you prefer. That concludes the crocheting method for motif 1. Note: I want to remind you again, make sure to leave a long yarn tail for the remaining motifs 1. Now let's move on to the first round of motifs. You'll notice that all the motifs in the first round are motif 2. Just alternate between two color schemes. Motif 2 also starts with a magic ring. Crochet counterclockwise outward from the magic ring. After completing the first round of motif 2, sew them together. Let me demonstrate. Start with a magic ring. Then work 1 chain. Crochet 6 single crochets into the magic ring. Once done, tighten the ring. Then join with a slip stitch in the first single crochet. The first round is now complete. Continue to crochet the second round. First, slightly enlarge the loop. Then work 1 chain. Next, crochet a HDC4 puff into this single crochet stitch. That means first crocheting 4 unclosed half double crochets. After completing them, yarn over, then pull the yarn through all loops at once. This is the HDC4 puff. Now crochet 3 chains. In this round, you will crochet 1 puff stitch into each single crochet stitch, followed by 3 chains between each puff stitch. Continue until the round is completed. After finishing, join with a slip stitch in the starting stitch, and fasten off the yarn. That concludes the second round. Now continue to crochet the third round. This round will be crocheted using 2 colors of yarn. First, join color 1 at any large space. Work 3 chains. Then, work 1 double crochet into the chain space. As you crochet, wrap color 2 yarn above. Next, switch to color 2 and make 2 chains. Then, in the chain below on the left side of this puff stitch, which is to say, insert your hook into this space. Work a HDC4 puff. Pull color 1 gently through afterward. Switch back to color 1 and crochet 2 chains. Be mindful not to pull too tight here. Keep the piece flat. You can see that this puff stitch and the chains on both sides are in color 2. While everything else is in color 1, continue with color 1 and work 3 double crochets. Pay attention to carrying the yarn. Next, not counting the beginning chain and double crochet, repeat this stitch pattern. Be mindful of carrying the yarn. At the end, work 1 double crochet into the beginning chain space. Then join with a slip stitch, and fasten off the yarn. Also cut off color 2. That concludes the third round. Now continue to the fourth round. First, join the yarn in the large space, on the right side of the last puff stitch. Chain 3. Then work 1 unclosed double crochet into this large space. Next, work 2 unclosed double crochets together into the large space on the left. Then yarn over, pull the yarn through all loops at once. We will treat this as a special DC2 bobble cluster. Then chain 4. Continue in this space and the space on the left. Work a DC2 bobble cluster. That is, work 2 unclosed double crochets in each of these 2 spaces. Then yarn over, pull the yarn through all loops at once. Chain 4. This round alternates between the cluster stitch and 4 chains. Follow the chart to complete this round. End with a slip stitch in this stitch and fasten off the yarn. That concludes the fourth round. Continue to the fifth round. Join the yarn in the first large space. Start with 3 chains. Then work 4 double crochets in the same space. After completing those, work a DC2 tog in this space, and the space on the left. That is, in these 2 spaces, work 1 unclosed double crochet each. Then yarn over, and pull the yarn through all loops at once. The DC2 tog is now complete. Work 5 more double crochets in this space. Next, repeat this stitch pattern to finish the round. Finally, end with a slip stitch, and fasten off the yarn. That concludes the fifth round. Continue with the sixth round. First, join the yarn in the gap on the right side of the beginning chain. Work 3 chains. Then correspondingly work double crochets. Keep going all the way through the 5 double crochet positions in the second space. After completing, work 1 double crochet and 2 chains in the gap on the left side. Continue following the chart to finish this round. Don't forget to work the next double crochet stitch position. And by working 1 double crochet in this gap, 2 chains, then slip stitch into the stitch on the left side of the beginning chain. According to the chart instructions, you'll notice that, at the end of each motif in round 2, you need to leave a long yarn tail for sewing together these 2 sides. That means leaving a tail about 3 times the length of the 2 sides. If you need to leave a long yarn tail for sewing together 3 sides, then leave a tail about 3 times this length. For the short ends, just weave in them along the texture of the fabric on the wrong side. That concludes motif 2. You can crochet both versions of motif 2 with 2 color schemes for round 2. Below, I'll use these small fabrics to demonstrate the sewing together of motifs in a simple way. This is the central motif. It doesn't have a long yarn tail. First, thread the long yarn tail from any one of motif 2's onto a sewing needle. Sew this edge to any edge of the central motif. We start here at the chain close to the beginning chain, and sew all the way to this chain near the double crochet position. Pick up the half loops of the 2 motifs that are close to each other with whip stitch. One stitch corresponds to another. Don't pull too tight when sewing. Mind the tension and keep it moderate. Keep the fabric flat. After this edge is sewn, leave the remaining tail here. It will be used later to sew this edge. Next, let's sew the second motif of the first round. We need to sew these two edges together. Pay attention to the color alternation. You can sew the corner one more time if needed. To ensure there are no obvious large gaps. After sewing, the yarn tails can be dealt with later uniformly. Next, follow this demonstration. And continue to sew the remaining 4 motifs. After sewing 2 edges of the last motif, use the reserved tail from the first motif to finish sewing this edge. That's how you complete the sewing of the first round of motifs. Then move on to crocheting the second round of motifs. You will notice that this round consists of motif 1 and motif 3. We have already covered motif 1. So please refer to the previous demonstration and follow the chart for the corresponding color scheme. Also, leave enough long yarn tails. Now let's take a look at motif 3. Motif 3 starts with a magic ring. Crochet counterclockwise around the magic ring. Leave the corresponding long yarn tails at the end. Some motif 3 will need decorations, but for round 2, motif 3 does not require any decoration. Now let's demonstrate the crocheting method without decoration. Start with a magic ring first. Then work 1 chain, followed by 2 single crochets. Then 5 chains. Continue to alternate between 2 single crochets and 5 chains. Repeat this process 4 times. After completing, work 2 single crochets. then 2 chains. Then close the magic ring. Pay attention not to make the loops of motif 3 too tight. It can be slightly loose. This will make it more convenient for adding decorations later in some parts. Finally, connect with 1 double crochet on the starting single crochet. That's it for the first round. Move on to round 2. Make 3 chains. Work 1 double crochet in this chain space. 2 chains. Work 4 double crochets in the chain space on the left side. Next, starting from these 2 chains, repeat this stitch pattern 4 more times. After completing 2 chains, then work 2 double crochets in the beginning chain space. Join with a slip stitch. The second round is complete. Continue with the third round. Make 3 chains. Work 2 double crochets in the left stitch. Then work 2 double crochets in the chain space on the left side. After completing, make 3 chains. Skip 1 stitch below. Work double crochets correspondingly in the second and third stitches. Work 2 double crochets in the fourth stitch. Then work 2 double crochets in the chain space on the left side. Next, start from these 3 chains. And repeat this stitch pattern 4 more times. After completing, make 3 chains. Work 1 double crochet in the second stitch. Join with a slip stitch. That's it for the third round. Continue with the fourth round. First, slip stitch on the left stitch. Carry the yarn across to this stitch position. Then make 3 chains. Continue following the chart to work double crochets and chains. For the ending, work 1 double crochet in this beginning chain. And join with a slip stitch in the beginning chain. That's it for the 4th round. For the 5th round, start with 3 chains. Then refer to the pattern to crochet double crochets and chains. Finish with 1 chain. Then make a half double crochet to join at the top of the beginning chain. Once completed. For the 6th round, start with 1 chain. Then work 2 single crochets in the chain space. Work 1 single crochet in the beginning chain. Correspondingly, make single crochets for these stitches. For each following chain space, work 1 single crochet, 2 chains, and 2 single crochets. All stitches are correspondingly worked as single crochets. Finally, work 1 single crochet, and 2 chains in the beginning chain space. Then join with a slip stitch in the first single crochet. Don't forget to leave a long yarn tail. That concludes motif 3. The next part involves adding decoration 1 to motif 3. This means using one of the corresponding colors to crochet slip stitches and chains onto the motif. Let me briefly demonstrate below. First, take the corresponding color yarn. Cut 3 pieces of yarn about 85 centimeters long. Find the center of the motif. Fold 1 piece of the yarn tail in half. Pull the yarn loop through the center chain space. Note: always keep the right side of the fabric facing you while crocheting. The yarn will be on the wrong side. Then, slip stitch into the left side of any 2 single crochet stitches. Don't tighten the slip stitches for the decoration. Next, insert into this large space, and make 1 slip stitch. Then crochet 2 chains. I'll do 2 chains here. If you only do 1 chain, it should be slightly looser. Make sure the piece lays flat after completing it. Continue with a slip stitch in the next large space. 2 chains. Slip stitch in the next large space. 2 chains. Lastly, slip stitch in the final large space. 2 chains. Then do a slip stitch in the small chain space from the last round. Pull the yarn tail directly out. Bring it to the wrong side. Weave in all the yarn tails later. Next, use the remaining half to crochet another row of decoration. You can choose any row to crochet. First, secure the yarn on the wrong side. Then finish crocheting using the same method. After completing it, follow the same method. Use the remaining 2 yarn tails to complete all the decorations. And weave in the ends. That concludes decoration 1. If you're crocheting decoration 2, take 2 colors of yarn and cut one piece of each about 85 centimeters long. Then cut another piece of each about 50 centimeters long. The longer pieces will be crocheted using the same method as for decoration 1. Start by using half of it to crochet 1 row. Then use the other half to crochet another row. Pay attention here, you need to skip 1 row. After completing the long yarn tails, use the 2 shorter yarn tails next. And crochet 1 more row of spaces with each. The method is the same. That concludes both decorations for motif 3. Next, let's take a look at the sewing situation for the second round of motifs. For round 2, we can start sewing from any corner motif. That is, the motif marked with a red circle. If we start by sewing this motif 3, that is, sew one side of it to the motif from round 2, leaving the remaining yarn in place. Then move on and sew the motif 1 on the right side, which means sewing 3 sides like this. From then on, alternately sew 2 sides and 3 sides each time. And finally use the remaining yarn tail of this motif 3 to sew one last side like this. Next, for rounds 3 to 5 of the motifs, the sewing pattern follows the same logic. You can always start with the motif in the red circle. Sewing one side first. The motifs in the black circles need 3 sides sewn. There are fewer motifs in the 6th round, so you just need to sew 2 sides for each of them. Next, everyone can refer to the previous demonstration and combine it with the chart. Finish crocheting and sewing the remaining motifs. That concludes the explanation of motifs and sewing. After all the motifs are sewn together, you can crochet a round of reverse single crochets along the outer edge. Please watch as I demonstrate with this sample. Find any 2 motifs connected at their dent. You can join the yarn from the chain space on the right side. Work 1 chain. Then crochet 1 reverse single crochet in the first single crochet on the right. The technique is similar to a single crochet, but you move to the right sequentially. Pay attention and make sure it's tight. Ensure the edge is roughly flat after completing it. Continue working a reverse single crochet evenly into each double crochet stitch. When you encounter a corner chain space like this, work 1 reverse single crochet. When you meet stitches, correspondingly crochet reverse single crochets. at the dent where two motifs connect. Skip these two chain spaces without crocheting. This is the pattern you'll follow next. After completing everything, pick up 2 strands of yarn at the starting position and slip stitch to join. Then fasten off normally. The middle part of the sample is omitted and not crocheted. Make sure all yarn tails are woven in. That concludes how to crochet the edging. Next, we'll learn how to crochet and make tassel decorations, including the hat of tassel, tassels, and beads. Let's start with the tassel hat. The tassel hat also starts with a magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise along the magic ring. After completing, proceed with making and attaching it. Below, please watch as I demonstrate. Let's start by crocheting the tassel hat. Begin with the magic ring, then crochet 6 single crochets for the first round. I've already completed this part. Next, move on to the second round. Work 1 chain, then make a SC2-in-1. That is, work 2 single crochets into the same stitch. The SC2-in-1 is completed. Next, work a single crochet into the next stitch on the left. Continue to alternate between making SC2-in-1 and single crochets into the stitches on the left. After completing, join with a slip stitch. For the following rounds 3 to 6, work 1 single crochet into each stitch. Everyone should complete the first 6 rounds. Now I've already finished the first 6 rounds. After completing, continue with the 7th round. First, work 3 chains. Then slip stitch into the second single crochet. Next, always slip stitch into each stitch. In between, make sure to work 3 chains. After completing the last 3 chains, finish with a slip stitch and fasten off the yarn. Weave in the yarn tail inside. Next, everyone can proceed using this method. Finish crocheting the corresponding number of tassel hats. After completing the tassel hat, prepare a piece of cardboard next. The height should be about 12 centimeters. The width can be determined based on your preference. Just make sure it's convenient to hold while wrapping the yarn. Use the corresponding color yarn and wrap it 30 times. Once done, break the yarn and then cut it off at the bottom. Remove the tassel. Cut another 30cm piece of the same color yarn. Use this long piece of yarn to secure the middle of the tassel by wrapping it a few times. Then, with the help of a sewing needle, draw both ends of the thread out from here. Next, use a bead needle to thread the beads onto the yarn. Tie a knot to secure it. Finally, attach the entire tassel to the top of each motif, one on the outermost circle. Next, everyone can follow the same method to complete all the tassel decorations. Up to this point, the tutorial for this blanket is complete. If you have any unclear parts during the crocheting process, don't hesitate to join our Facebook group to get supports. Susan's family. Support your handwork experience. Share the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.